Hello. Welcome to the 24th part of the Necromancer's Evolutionary Traits. A special thanks to my channel members for supporting me. And if you want to support, you can join my channel membership or Patreon for as low as $1. Thank you very much. Let's begin. At the beginning of this part, after that, we see the announcer on stage say, "Next," a word of oath from Mr. Luis Artman, the top in his class. Luis Artman steps forward and says, "I swear, I, Luis Artman, and the new students of the 111th class, swear to stand shoulder to shoulder with my seniors at the proud Rodlin Academy, to strive to be the spear and shield that protects the Empire and its people, and to be heroes that bring glory to the Empire." This was Luis Artman, the first-year representative. Luis sees some other students and thinks, "Those guys over there, are they my seniors? All of them look strong." Luis spots Andrea's and thinks, that mantle means he is from the magic faculty, so why does he have a sword? Rodlin Academy seems to have a lot of interesting people. We see a random match, regardless of faculty. Doesn't that sound interesting? The Rodlin Academy Spring Tournament. We overhear two students talking. Don't get too excited just because we don't have classes. Right now we're first years, so it's fine. But next year, it'll be our turn. The other student replies, "Precisely because we're first years, we can watch it without worrying. I'm sure it'll be a good lesson for us." Luis thinks, watching the matches should be good for you, because you'll get to see all kinds of skills and techniques. Not to mention, the magic faculty is joining in too. Luis bumps into a man, spilling coffee all over him. The man looks really angry. Luis quickly says, "I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention." The man gets ready to punch him and shouts, "Where did you put your eyes?" Luis gets hit and falls right beside a table. The man sneers, blocking the top of the night faculty's punch. "Guess they weren't lying about you being the first year's top, huh?" Luis gets up and thinks, his punch wasn't that fast, but it's so heavy I couldn't stop it completely. The man adds, "But hey, this uniform is expensive, you know? I'll let you off the hook if you give me 100,000 wills. A voice interrupts, "That's outright extortion. Have a shred of dignity. You're not a beggar." It's Diane, who says, "Sounds like you're happy to be disqualified just to cause a fuss in the street." The man, Todlon, sees her and thinks, "Diane Alvin? Shit." Diane continues, "And using your logic, you should be the one paying me 100,000 wills." Todlon begrudgingly says, "You are lucky, first year." Luis thanks Diane. "Thank you very much for saving me." Diane replies, "Don't mind it." Lucia arrives and says, "You're the first-year representative, right?" Luis introduces himself. Diane introduces herself, "I'm Diane Alvin, fourth-year student." Lucia adds, "I'm Lucia Everlast, a second year." "That's unlucky of you to get in trouble so early in the school year." Luis says, "How embarrassing." Diane reassures him, "It's okay. That guy is at the top of the night faculty after all." Vivian then says, "I'm going now. Andrea's match is about to start." Luis says, "You are a night faculty senior. Nice to meet you." Lucia says, "I want to see the match too. How about you join us?" Diane asks, "You too, Lucia? I didn't think you'd be interested in this kind of thing." Lucia responds, "Don't say that. Even I sometimes get excited about it." Luis asks, "But you're not going to participate, right?" Lucia replies, "Well, no." Diane suggests, "We are about to go soon. How about you, Luis?" Luis answers, "I was about to go and see the tournament myself." Diane says, "Let's go together then." Luis agrees, "Yes." Later, in the arena, Luis exclaims, "That match was amazing." As expected from Rodlin, they're on a whole other level. Diane says, "Well, that wasn't too bad." The host announces, "Here come the competitors for the next match." Luis notices, it seems the next match is starting already. The host says, "In the blue corner, the top of the night faculty, Todlon Terry. As the top student in the night faculty, we expect great things from him in this year's competition." And his competitor in the red corner is Magic Faculty fourth-year student, Andreas Cromwell. He's gained attention for inventing a new potion. Luis thinks, he's the guy I saw at the entrance ceremony. Is he really going to fight the top of the night faculty in a sword fight? The host declares, the match will begin shortly. Tadlon taunts Andreas, it's you, isn't it? The one from the magic faculty pretending to be a swordsman. Andreas calmly replies, I wasn't pretending, but if you think so, suit yourself. The host calls out, let the fight begin. Tadlon charges, I'll teach you the true weight of a sword. The host adds, right off the bat, Tadlon launches a ferocious assault. Meanwhile, Lucia asks Diane, by the way, senior, do you know about that? Diane asks, about what? Lucia tells her, I heard that there will be an exchange meeting with the Milko Academy after this tournament. Diane responds, about that, they said that those with outstanding academic results should attend if possible, although I'll be forced to go anyway. The tower leader had said, Diane, if you join, we'll be able to show Milko Academy the difference between them and us more clearly. Lucia sighs, just imagining it sounds like a pain. I've also heard that if you place high enough in this tournament, you'll be able to join as well. Diane adds, Vivienne might be able to join too. After beating Senior Aaron, yesterday's favorite, there's a good chance she'll make it. Back in the match, Tadlon yells, Bastard! Stop dodging and fight me. Andreas continues dodging all of Tadlon's attacks with ease. The host shouts, what a fearsome onslaught from Tadlon Terry. Andreas Cromwell is in danger. Luis thinks, the way he carries himself, I remember seeing it before. Vivian comments, it's Mr. Fairy's win. Tadlon taunts, is your sword just a decoration? Show me the magic you're so proud of. The host adds, Andreas Cromwell from the magic faculty is still too busy dodging. Suddenly, Andreas appears behind Tadlon and says, because? The host asks, is this going to be the end? Andreas slams Tadlon to the ground. Andreas says, there's no need to use a sword or magic on someone like you. The host shouts, unbelievable. Tadlon Terry, the favorite to win, was defeated by the fourth-year student of the magic faculty. The winner is Andreas Cromwell. Luis is shocked. He defeated the top of the night faculty with his bare hands? Who is that guy? Vivian replies, that's Mr. Fairy. Lucia, surprised, says, no way. That just now? Diane explains, a sorcerer used a knight's mana to invigorate his body. The tower leader adds, a dual core, to think he used it here. Looks like he no longer has to hide it. Huh? A storm is brewing. The last match of the day ends, and the host announces, the round of 16 matches will start tomorrow. Please check your tablets for the latest list of matchups. Lucia congratulates Andreas, Senior, you were amazing. Congrats. Andreas, puzzled, asks, why is everyone here? Diane answers, who knows? It just sort of happened. She adds, but why is Luis even here? Luis introduces himself, my name is Luis Artman. Nice to meet you. Andreas thinks, to see the first main character I played in Deadly Sins alive like this, it's quite moving. Makes me a bit nervous, too. Diane, surprised, says, that was quite a surprise, by the way. I didn't know you could use an aura. She continues, you never learned to use a sword before because you didn't know you had a special constitution, right? So that's why you recently started training with a sword. Andreas replies, yes, that's about right. He thinks, she analyzed everything I did. Luis asks, how do you move like that when you've only been learning to use a sword for a short time? Vivian, standing beside him, remarks, Lucia, since when has she been beside him? Luis continues, could it be that you have a special training method not taught at the academy? Luis reflects, he came on strong, even though we've only just met. I guess this eagerness and excellent ability to learn are what drove his growth. Andreas explains, it's not much. I'm just using aura to invigorate my body, that's all. He thinks, though I still haven't achieved instantaneous movement like my master did. He remembers, after Hosen left, the only apprentice Disgrun took was me. And as for Luis, he only gave him a little training because he was interested in his talent. Maybe that's why he still doesn't know how to use my master's aura control method. Luis asks, using aura to invigorate the body? If you don't mind, could you show it to me once? It's hard for me to grasp from words alone. Andreas thinks, I'd like to teach him, but it's not something that can be done in a day or two. Perhaps next time. Besides, he'll grow on his own anyway. Andreas replies, I'm busy with the match right now. Maybe later, when I have some free time. Luis responds, Thank you very much, senior. Andreas praises him. Your eagerness to learn is impressive, especially since you've just enrolled here. Lucia playfully scolds Andreas. Speaking of which, aren't you terrible, senior? We spent over half a year together researching potions, and you didn't tell me about it. Andreas chuckles. My bad. Back then, I just didn't want to stand out. Vivian remarks. Together for half a year, huh? Lucia asks. Then why are you doing things that make you stand out now? Andreas explains. I thought I'd try joining the exchange meeting. You know it's hard to rise to the top with magic alone. He thinks. The truth is, I'm keeping it hidden because the playable characters might kill me if I stand out too much. Lucia thinks. I can see that, since his talent for magic is non-existent. Andreas adds, that said, lately, I've been working on my fire magic, you know? Lucia says, Oh, really? Good luck with that. Andreas replies, Thanks for the pep talk. He thinks, the exchange meeting is an event I've never seen back in the game. There's no need for me to join it, but there's someone at Milko Academy I'd like to meet. Another playable character, Ketchlung Volga. Vivian declares, I'll do my best too, and join the exchange meeting with Andreas. Lucia comments, My seniors sure are ambitious. Diane adds, Well, if we're going to join, it can't be a bad thing to aim for the top, can it? They check the matchup list, and Lucia notes, Assuming all of you keep winning, Senior Vivian and Diane will face each other in the top 4, and whoever wins will face Senior Andreas in the finals. Diane confidently says, I'm confident in myself. Vivian responds, I won't lose either. Andreas adds, I'll do my best too. Diane concludes, Let's all give it our best. 5 days later, on the day of the tournament final, the host announces, the final of Rodland Academy's 58th spring tournament is on. Now, both competitors, please enter the arena. The host continues, there were many upsets in this year's tournament, but the most spectacular participant is Magic Faculty 4th-year student Andreas Cromwell. And facing him, the one who stopped Viviane Belrican, the other unexpected protagonist on her way to becoming champion, Magic Faculty 4th-year student Diane Alvin. This is the first time in 12 years that there will be a champion from the Faculty of Magic. Lucia comments, She looks like a different person when she's fighting. The host adds, With all the attention drawn by the irregularities, it's time for the match to begin. Both competitors, get ready. Diane confidently says, Sorry, Andreas, but I'm not handing over the champion title to you. Andreas smirks, You'll have to go all out right from the start then. The host declares, Match on. Diane responds, As you wish. I'll end this right away. She summons a flurry of fireballs. Andreas gets ready to fight and says, All right, here I go. He jumps toward her, dodging her fire magic. They both clash as Andreas cuts through the fire attacks and gets closer to her. Diane is surprised. She teleports behind Andreas. Andreas thinks, Can she already use spatial magic? Beyond my expectations. She thinks, What's with his freakish speed? Andreas urges, More. Entertain me more, Diane. She shudders, thinking, He's enjoying the fight. Is he saying he's not afraid of me? So annoying. She releases more power and yells, Don't underestimate me. Lucia exclaims, What incredible mana power. Senior Diane is well beyond the level of a student, isn't she? Vivian agrees, Diane is strong. Andreas thinks, I've never succeeded in using this move yet, but I feel like I can do it now. Diane prepares her next move, a flaming spear with an explosion effect. A great idea, but if it's dodged, a massive explosion follows. Andreas thinks, if I hadn't protected my body with mana, that would have been really bad. Just using spatial magic is difficult enough, but to think she combined it with attack magic and double chanting. Diane thinks, he can withstand the fire spear that I teleported to him with just his physical strength? Is he even human? Andreas marvels at her progress, thinking, Diane's speed of growth is exceeding my imagination. But still, to see the growth of these playable characters, it's exciting. Lucia, shocked, says, even if it's Senior Andrea's, being caught by that is? She notices Vivian's intense focus and thinks, killing intent? Diane says, I did it. It's my. Andrea's jumps and uses a powerful slash attack. Diane thinks, the arena that Dad personally fixed and reinforced 5 days ago is. Andrea says, you showed me something great. To thank you, let me show you something interesting as well. He surrounds his sword with aura and explains, first, surround the sword with aura. Then, after rearranging the aura's mana, apply a spell on it. This is what you can do with it. You can cast a spell using aura instead of magic. My own magic. My magic that combines sword and magic. With that, the match reaches its end. Subscribe for the next part.